This is from Bounding into Comics. This is one of the two and only two websites, Bounding into Comics and Bleeding Full, that are not far, far, far left. This covers Vox Day's film coming out. Now, I'm not that familiar with Vox Day, but I am kind of a fan of the people that he works with. I checked out a couple of his live streams. I just dipped my toe in the water, and it wasn't my cup of tea, so I really am not that familiar with him. But I know for some reason people get very, very upset when they hear his name, so that interests me. Let's see. Vox Day reveals first teaser trailer for Rebel Run based off the alt-hero comic. Archaven Comics publisher Vox Day revealed the first teaser trailer for the upcoming film. Let's take a look. Okay, well, can I take a look at this? Yes? I don't know if he'll copyright strike me for this, but it doesn't matter. Okay, so this looks like a real movie, not just a low budget 1964 Mustang, my guess. I don't know. Chuck Dixon. Did Chuck Dixon create Bane? Never heard of you. Okay, whatever. Let's see. In revealing the trailer, Vox also revealed the film would be produced by Valro Films, a new film production company. Craft beer aficionados. If you're going to drink beer, only drink craft beer. Sierra Nevada, Anchor Steam. Those are excellent. He also noted that the trailer's director, Scooter Downey, will be directing the upcoming film. Downey co-directed Mike Cernovich's recently released Hoaxed film. Okay, so they're probably right of center. Mike Cernovich, I think he was a guy on Twitter who was revealing James Gunn's weird tweets. If you don't know about James Gunn's tweets, look them up, DuckDuckGo them, and look at like top dozen tweets, not just the ones that the left are trying to put forward. He said some things can't be repeated. I mean, he said some things that basically he's talking about hurting children. Very not funny guy. In a live stream with Owen Benjamin, Vox Day discussed the upcoming film and his reasoning for not only starting Archaven Comics, but the media company. Vox details, I was contacted by an experienced producer. He added, then I got contacted by first one producer, and then I got contacted by other people, which puzzled me because we've published over 100 books, and nobody from the movie industry, TV industry has ever contacted us. Vox says, I was very curious about this, and finally the smartest of the producers that had contacted me said, well, you have to understand, nobody in Hollywood reads. He went on to praise that level of talent that is part of the film, the level of talent that is taken in part in this, whether it's Chuck Dixon being the lead scriptwriter. We've got a great script. You can see from the trailer, director Scooter has a really great visual eye. We're going to bring so many very strong elements to the table. I think the people are going to be really surprised at the final result. Continues, we're actually aiming for one of the best movie soundtracks. I want a soundtrack that's going to stand up against The Matrix. Good luck there, buddy. The Matrix had if I remember The Matrix from 1999, I saw it in the theater. It had some songs from Rage Against the Machine. So Rage Against the Machine is a tough act to beat. They were very, very talented. Official release details, produce Rebels Run, live action superhero film. Okay. Working together, outstanding team, blah, blah, blah. Legendary comic book writer Chuck Dixon. Yeah, he's a lot of fun. I think he occasionally will do interviews with Cecil from Cecil Says or from Diversity and Cecil, whatever. She's changed his name a few times, but he's a very funny guy. What do you make of the teaser trailer? Are you excited? Yeah, it looks pretty good to me. I don't think they have comments on this, unfortunately. You got to use Dissenter or something. Anyway, I thought this looked interesting. I'm kind of surprised that it's actually a big budget or a, not a small budget film. This is also from Bounding Into Comics website. The Disney denies father's request to put Spider-Man on 4-year-old son's gravestone. Disney denied a request to have a father use a Spider-Man image on the gravestone of his son. Okay, looks like I won't be able to read that one, but I will put a link to the, there's a petition to sign to let Disney know that you're not happy with this. Okay, back to IndieCron, the Comicsgate hub, so I can get to that sweet 10-minute mark. Shameless pandering. You know what? Chuck Dixon's book is on here. It is called Jungle Comics, I think. It was just on here, and it just disappeared as I scrolled up. Damn you, IndieCron. I don't know who runs IndieCron, but there was some trouble about some books were allowed on and other books were not. Oh, here it is. Jungle Comics #1 by Chuck Dixon and Kelsey Shannon. Kelsey Shannon is also a very funny guy. He gets on Cecil live streams and drinks very, very heavily. So this is kind of what you're looking for with Chuck Dixon and Kelsey. This is just awesome art. It reminds me so much of the 80s, the strongest art from the 80s and maybe the early 90s, back when you could have things like this. So let's take a quick gander at this. Look at this. This is awesome. You know what this reminds me of? What's the guy, Henry Rider? Back on there. Henry Rider Haggard, the guy who wrote those books that kind of Indiana Jones is kind of based on. Queen Sheba, where they go, they're looking for diamonds or something. He wrote a lot of books about 100 years ago that are completely off. They're in the public domain now, so you can download them for free from Gutenberg Press, and they are excellent adventure stories. I think there was they made one movie that was from one of his books, the Queen Sheba one, the Queen Sheba's Diamonds or something with, oh God, I can't remember, what was the name of the woman's Basic Instinct, the lady who's in Basic Instinct who crossed and uncrossed her legs. She was in it, and she was with some guy, the lead, who was not the right guy for the lead. He looked very, very gay, and I don't mean that to disparage him as an insult. I mean, he's with Sharon Stone. Sharon Stone, who at the time was a very, very attractive woman. She was very, very hot. You can check her out in that movie, and you can also check her out in Total Recall with Arnold Schwarzenegger, which I think that was her, Sharon Stone. But the guy who played her love interest, I guess, looked like he had no interest in women whatsoever. It was a weird choice. Anyway, this is on In Demand from Indiegogo. Hello, if you're a fan of when comics were escapist fun, I am, and I think most of us are, part of the Antarctic Press's new Subverse line. We are proud to have Subverse. Isn't that Tim Pool's? Top Nut Shredder, Chuck Dixon, Batman Punishers, Kelsey Shannon, X-Men, Justice League, bringing all the classic trappings of pulp-filled adventure story, filled with all the great characters from the golden age of Jungle Comics. That looks awesome. Let's back on Indiegogo. These guys are not probably getting a lot of work in the industry now because they're not right of center, but I guess I would say they're probably left of center, but they're not far left whack jobs. I wish there was some way to organize this by date. Is there a way to organize this by date? There are a ton of Comic Gates Comic Gates books. And it feels great that the big two finally have some, a little bit of competition. I mean, this probably totals up to less than $1 million, and Marvel, DC, Image, and whatever, the rest are, $1 billion companies. But still, you got to start somewhere, and Comicsgate is less than 2 years old. This, God, they all look so good. You would be spending thousands. Upcoming books. Damn. This is some good stuff. Super Harem I already looked at. The Ferryman, I think that's by Sean Campbell. Is it by... That looks good, too. In Demand. Who's the art? Sean Campbell. Okay. Let me take a look at this real quick. Why isn't it colored in? Looks good, but no text, no dialogue yet. I want to read a little bit of the story. It looks good, though. The art always looks good from all these guys. Anyway, just a quick video. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and leave a like and a comment.